Well, thanks, Dan. We can go ahead and get things on the way.
All right, thanks, God. Appreciate it. So yeah, I am here to cover RPR, and then also any questions that you have about anything MLS related, don't hesitate to just type in the chat, and I'd love to touch on them at the end. Or if you have questions along the way, just type them in. We'll be monitoring that and answering them as we go. But yeah, basically, we're going to talk about RPR, what it is, how to use it. This is one of those features that does have an app to it. So all of our icons across the dashboard here that you see, most of these are just desktop versions, right? But we do have a few that have apps to them, and RPR is one of them, which is cool. I don't know if you've ever used the RPR app. I'll show you how to download it and get it installed. But if you have not, I highly recommend getting in there, and I'll connect my phone after we do the desktop version and kind of show you what it looks like. But I love it because it's so easy to just type in an address or a neighborhood and get that report pulled up on your phone instantly that you can view or share by way of text or email. So we'll do the app after we kind of cover the desktop version. So for those of you that do not have the RPR, do not have an RPR account, let's just start with that and make sure we can get you signed up. So from your dashboard, when you log into the MLS, it's this icon right here along the bottom, RPR. And when I click on that, it opens up and takes me to the login screen. Now, if those of you that are regular RPR users, it may even just have taken you right into your RPR account. It is a single sign-on for some period of time. If you don't log in for a while, it will log you out, but the single sign-on should work. But for those of you, so we don't leave anybody behind, for those of you that do not have an RPR account, if you come down to the bottom here and click create a new account, it is very easy to sign up for this. Okay, you're just going to enter your last name and your email, whatever you have as your NAR membership email, okay, and name. If you don't know for sure, you can always just do your last name and your NAR member ID lookup, and then that's how you create your account. Basically, what will happen from here after you enter your credentials and go to next is you'll receive an email with a link that you click on to activate your RPR account. So it's super simple to sign up. Just give it those few pieces of information, click next, wait 30 seconds or a minute, however long it takes, go check your email, grab that link and open up RPR. Make sure you check your spam, your junk. For those of you that have Gmail, sometimes it goes into a promotions folder. So just make sure you check all of those. You never know where sometimes our email servers send those links, but that's how you get signed up. Okay. Now, after you, if you try to sign up and it says you already have an account, because I've seen that as well, just go ahead and click the forgot password button down here and type in your email for it to send you a password reset, because sometimes that happens too. And so I'm going to go ahead and just sign in. And let's get started here. So RPR, let's talk about it from a 30,000 foot view for a second. Basically, this is the largest database of property research that is available. It's backed by NAR, and it includes data from over 200 different sources, okay? You can do all kinds of things in RPR. You can look up all the property details and tax records. You can run comps. You can do prospecting. And it's very robust. And the thing that I like about it most is not only is it robust in terms of the data, but it also gives you very professional looking reports on the back end with that data. So if you think about Realist for a second, you know, anybody who's ever used our Realist tax program, yes, you have access to some data, but they don't really do much in terms of reports. I mean, you can run a CMA, but anybody who's ever done so, you know, you get that little 2-page or 3-page, depending on number of comps you found. It's very small. There's not much to it. It's just a map and then the list of the properties, okay? But in here, you know, you can create a 70, 80-page total presentation branded to you with all kinds of charts and graphs and data, and you can do it pretty quickly. Okay, so let's kind of walk through that. I'm also kind of talking big picture to allow people that have not signed up for an account to go through those steps so they can catch up a little bit. But that's what RPR is from a top-down perspective. The other thing that's nice about RPR is if you look up in the top left here, there is a residential and commercial toggle. So I'm not sure if you guys know this, but commercial listings in the MLS are not a required property type. And so we don't have a ton of commercial listings in comparison to residential. And so when it comes time to list a commercial property or to run comps for one, it's hard sometimes to find enough listings to get a good CMA done. But in RPR, I can toggle to commercial and plug that commercial property in. And I'm going to have many more properties because all of the commercial properties are going to be in here, not just the listings from the MLS. And so I have a more robust database to do searches with. Okay. So let's start with just a very basic address search and just kind of see what it presents for us. So up in the location tab up top, you can type in an address. Once you start typing, you get the number and the name, kind of like you see there. I let the system find the rest for me. It's going to find matches. And so you want to click on the match when it finds it for you. And the reason that sometimes I leave off, like, see how I type in road, because that's what I think it's called, and it loses that match. So just type the name and the number. So 35165 is the address number and then the street name. And if we don't put any suffix in there, it should find it for us. Just a little tip there in terms of finding addresses. So once I find that address and I click on it, I have a ton of options here. I'm going to see all of the property details. I can see the estimated value. They call it the RVM. What's nice about the RPR one, in comparison to like a realist or a Zestimate or anything like that, is that it's going to show you actually where it got that data from, right? So if I click on the number, it's going to show me what properties it used to calculate that RVM, which is very nice. Okay, so really almost just right away, I have a CMA done. I typed in the address, I clicked on the RVM, and I can get an estimated value, a range, how confident they are in that, and the properties that they used for that comp. And I can even print that out right here in the top right. Okay, so that's how quickly we are accessing data and getting reports done. It's going to show us all of the property information, right? Beds, baths, square footage, etc. It's going to show us the change over month and year, that estimated value. I can click view details. And again, that takes me to what properties were used for that comp report. And then as I continue to just scroll down, I can see all of the property facts. If I need to make a change to these, like let's say sometimes I know you guys enter a listing and it actually is they've added a fourth bedroom and they only have 3 in the auditor site or wherever. I can just go ahead and make that change here actually and update the record. Okay, it's going to show us our legal description, what schools are in the area, our owner facts, our listing history if there is any, our public record history, and then our estimated value over time. Okay, so all of that is available there. I like to click on this map tab. And you can actually see on the map the estimated values of the homes that are around it as well. And if you see this little blue highlighted one that actually sold, that's why it's in a different color, and that was the sold price. This is another good way to just kind of get a general feel for the area and what houses are valued at in the area. There's a market trends tab just kind of working along this blue top right here, where I can see what's going on in the market for Willoughby. If I click on any of these tabs, it gives me more details, charts, graphs, and all of these are shareable and printable. So like, see, I can click the share button and I can share it. I can make this a Facebook post. I can make this a Twitter post, or X as it's called now. I can print the report out. Another cool thing is, if you see up top, is there's a create script button right here. This is actually an awesome feature. I can select the tone that I want, and I can decide who I'm targeting, like first-time home buyers. Maybe I've just sold a home in Willoughby and I want to post about and try to attract first-time home buyers to this area. And I want it to generate a script for that. And so it will do that. And it will do it in a way that allows me to post this right to my social media account. So in just a couple seconds, I've got a script done with all the details about what's going on in this market, and I can copy it and paste it or export it to another feature. Okay. So I don't want to, I sometimes tend to zoom through this because there's just so much to cover, but I don't want to leave anybody behind. How are we doing so far? Everybody knows how to get into RPR, um, look up an address with the location bar, and then kind of work through these tabs right now. Is anybody completely lost? Are we doing okay?
I think we're doing good. Just quick
Doing good?
question. So when you do get the create script, do you have
Yes.
to search a property and then that would come up?
Yeah, so you have a couple different options. I'm on a particular property right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's another way to do it. Let me just show you real quick. If I were to see this market trends, they're up at the top. You
Oh
have
yeah.
different, like you have a research and you can show residential market trends, or they have one
Okay.
here. It says market trends. Either way you want to get there is fine. But let's click
Uh-huh.
on the research tab at the top and then do our market trends. So here I can enter a county, a city, a zip. So let's say I want to
Oh, okay.
let's do like Niles, where I'm from. Okay. So now see how it's
Oh,
not about a property, it's about the city of Niles. And I'm going to have it create the script for me and then tell me, who I'm targeting, what tone I want, and then
cool.
what my script is. Hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Everybody good there with that?
Cool.
Yeah, it is. It's very cool, actually.
Yeah.
Um, You also have, if I wanted to get back to an address, like if I wanted to get back to that 35165 I was working on, I can just click on my work up here and go to my recent properties. And then there's that address to get back where I was. Okay. And then remember, we were just working across the top here. So map location, market trends. The next one I want to talk about is actually running the CMA report. So if I click that, this is a nice way for us to run a CMA that we have a lot of control over. Okay, so it wants us to do 4 steps and it will create the reports from this CMA tab. So the first thing is it wants us to confirm our home facts, right? So I've already done it for this house, but that's okay. I just click edit. And this kind of goes back to where I was talking about if you have changes. So like, this is actually a 5-bedroom house, right? Not a 4. They've added a bedroom and it's not reflected for some reason in the public record. So I can make updates to this, or I can just confirm what they have here and click confirm and close at the bottom. Okay. So that's step 1 and that's done. The next step is searching for comps. So I'm going to click on number 2, find comps. And it wants me to define where I'm looking and what I'm looking for. So the middle screen here is kind of the what I'm looking for. And the screen to the left is, I'm sorry, the middle screen here is like the where I'm looking, and off to the left is the what I'm looking for. So do I want to see, just active listings in my comp report, or do I want everything, right? I might want everything. How far back do I want to go, right? Maybe I want to go back the last year. Um, do I want only exact matches of bedrooms? So I would put 4 to 4 there, right? Uh, Bath, all that stuff, price range. And then you'll notice when I click search, it's going to find comps for me in the map area that I have. So you can see the little squares that have popped up in the background here. And if I need to expand that search or widen it, I can always zoom out from my map here. And then wherever I zoom out to and then rerun my search, it will now include listings from that zoomed out area. Kelly, are you still with me? And can everybody still see my screen?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Sorry, I had a weird glitch. I thought I lost internet for a second. I'm good though.
Oh,
Okay.
got it. No, you're good.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
Mhm.
how we can change our area to add comps. And then it will give you down below that the list of comps, right? And your job is to then go through that list and click to add them to your report, right? So I go through this list. I say, yes, this one is a good match. This one is a good match, right? And I add however many I want to. And when I'm done, I click update valuation and close in the right-hand corner there. Okay. So that seemed difficult, but it's not really once you go through that. So, number 2, search for comps. Remember, define what you're looking for and where you're looking for it, and then add those comps to the bottom and update. That's it. Okay. It is very simple. And then at the end, you can make adjustments if you need to. See, number 3 is make adjustments. All this is really doing is it gives us like a scale, right, of how this property compares to the subject one. And so if I say this is a little bit worse, it will adjust our property by $16,000. Or if I say this one's actually a little better than our comp, it will adjust it that way. Okay. So you can play with that scale as you see fit and as your expertise deems. And then that's it. You're done. Now you just click create report at the bottom. We're going to do a legacy report. So this is called the seller's report right here. See how it's already clicked on? And I'm going to click run report in the bottom left. So now it will take a couple minutes. See how it says it's 2 minutes remaining on this report? But I've already done this earlier today. And this is the exact same report. And I'll just show you what it looks like. So when I click on it, this is our report. It's going to be branded to me, right? It's got my company logo. And then it's just got 80 pages of data, charts, graph, stats. It's going to tell us the AARP livability index. It's going to give us the property history, just tons and tons and tons of data here. Okay, so that's how we create our CMA report from RPR. And then as I scroll down far enough, you'll start to get to the actual comps themselves like this. And if there are pages in here that you don't want or don't like, I'll show you how to make some adjustments to this. But so that ding that you got, I don't know if you guys can hear that on your end, but I just got like this doorbell ring, and then I have a message that says it's successfully generated. So I can click download report, and that's the same report I just showed you. It just finally finished uploading. Those get saved here for 30 days. If you hover over the My Work section up top here, you're going to see you have My Reports, which will show you all the reports that you've ran. Okay. How are we doing? Everybody feel good about that? Know how to do it?
Yeah, that's super cool. I actually do have a question in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some reasons that the square foot on RPR is more than the MLS? The property was on the market last year and the lower square foot matches MLS.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a number of reasons for that. Number one, if it's just listing data you're looking at, it's possible that the listing agent entered it. Maybe they got it correct, or maybe they entered it incorrect. But whatever number they entered was different than what the tax records or what RPR reflects. That's probably what happened. If it's a mismatch in tax data, then for some reason, somehow there's a discrepancy with how RPR pulled that data in. Maybe there was an update on the auditor site that hasn't been reflected yet, or maybe RPR just needs to be notified that their data pool doesn't match the auditor site for some reason. So it could be a couple of different reasons there. Okay, so let's go back for a second. Let's hover on this, go back to our address search. We plugged an address in, and I want to get back to this part, because there's a couple other tabs to talk about here. This neighborhood one will take us to the market trends for that neighborhood. And again, we're to the point where you can create a script, right, or share that data. Okay, I just wanted to close that off with the address search.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to click on the home tab up top for a second. So that was us plugging in a specific address and getting the data and running a seller's report. Okay. There's something else that you can do in those reports. And let me just pull that back up. So, whoops, recent properties. Okay. So once you have your address again, I wanted to show you one more thing before I go back home. I get this question a lot. Like, do you guys have one-page property flyers, right? So like you have an open house and you want to put a one-page property report or one-page property flyer out on the table for people to take. We don't have anything like that in the MLS, but RPR does. So in your reports, when you're on this page, you'll see you have the property flyer right here. And this is basically what it looks like. So it would be the picture of the house, little pin, and then your description with the branding to you and some quick stats about the house. I get that question a lot about one-page property reports, and so I wanted to point that out to you. Okay, actually, let me just quickly talk about what all these reports are in case you're kind of wondering. So we already talked about the seller's report and showed you that. It's basically like the CMA. The property report right here is a review of the subject property that shows local market conditions, comparable properties. It does recommend pricing. So it's very similar to the seller's report. It's just not as robust and give you all the comps that one does. We talked about the property flyer. The mini property report is just like a slimmed down version of the big property report. It will include the estimated value and home facts, things like that. It just kind of gives you the basics. This valuation workbook is an in-depth value of a property used as backup material for a lender or a client. Okay. And then you have your neighborhood report, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to show us the stats and facts for Willoughby. And then school report is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to show us the schools and their ratings in that neighborhood or area. Okay, let's go back home for a second and click on the home tab. So if everybody wants to get back home and just kind of start back from scratch with me here, I want to walk you through this guided tour section because there's some cool stuff in here that people really just kind of gloss over. So we already have done an address search. We plugged an address up here and we went through everything that RPR has to offer for that particular address, okay? You can also just do a property search, right? So if I click these guided tours, see the little purple pop-ups that I get on my screen? It walks me through exactly how to do this search. So yes, I can set a search up in the MLS. I can also do a search in RPR. So let's do this Willoughby search, right? I wanted to find Willoughby. And now I'm going to go through and tell it what type of status I'm looking for sale, active. Do I want active under contract? Do I want to do close only as like a type of comp report? Whatever. I'm just going to choose active for the purpose of this example. And you can see the purple messages are literally walking me through how to do a property search. Okay, so that was on the home tab under guided tours. I clicked on property search. Okay, I'm going to select my property type. Single family is fine. And then you get to your price range. Any is fine for me. And then any other filters that you want to add, you would click that more filters button right here and plug those in. Right? Maybe it's a defined living area. Whatever your search is, you're searching for whatever you're searching, right? Nothing more to it. Then I click the little magnifying glass. And here's my search, right? And you can see all the results. So I've got 40 properties in here. It's telling me if I want to see a list view, I can change it to list view like this. And if I want to learn about a subject, I just click on it. That's it. Okay. I can print this. I can create a report for this search. You can save properties. You can't really create like an auto email like you can in the MLS where it sends these listings automatically to somebody, but you could send these listings right now one time, by checking on them and printing and emailing. So that is an option. Okay. So that's how we do a property search. Okay. I'm going to click back on the home tab. That was this guided tour right here. That was doing a property search. Any questions on that one or doing okay there?
I just got a question in the chat. Can you share on your cell phone the same thing you did a proper search? Okay.
Yes. When we get through the desktop version, which we're almost done, I'll flip over and I'll share my screen on the cell phone and show you kind of how it looks like on the mobile version. Absolutely. Cool. Okay. Yep. The next one I want to talk about is this prospecting, because this is a cool tool as well. So I'm just going to click the prospecting button. And again, it's going to walk me through how to do this. So am I targeting buyers or sellers? Let's just say buyers. Okay. And then I'm going to click on the research tab up top, and the map search is what it wants me to click on. And then I have to toggle to residential, which it's on. I'm going to enter a zip or an area. Again, I'm going to use my Willoughby area. So I type that zip code in there and hit enter. And I'm back to my filters icon over here. And I'm going to choose public records this time. and then any other thing I want. So for best result, it's telling me to get my filters to where I reduce it down to less than 500 properties, which is fine. So for that, let's say this one is assuming I'm targeting renters, right? I can check absentee owner, and that will give me only renters. And how long have they been there, or years owned for that property? I can say 5 to 10. And now I've got my properties. I've got 164 properties that it found. Okay, so that was me kind of going through targeting buyers. You don't have to choose the same options I just did. I'm just kind of showing you the steps. And then obviously, whoever you're targeting, you want to, in your filters, choose those options, right? This is just kind of the how. And then once I'm done, I can click on my mailing labels and choose whichever labels I want. It's having me go through, choose all my different options, and then I click print. You get 2,000 of these a month, just so you know. You can see right there, 2,000 a month. I believe these reset on the 7th, but I'm not 100% sure about that. And then I print it, and kind of just like in the MLS, if anybody's ever done labels, you can see that I've got mailing labels like this. Okay, so that's your prospecting. Any questions on that one? So from the home screen, again, prospecting, this is the guided tour that walks you through it, or you can just click on research and do this one yourself. You start on map search and you go through the process. I always like to use their guided tour. Even though I've been doing these for a while, I still like to do it because they sometimes give you helpful tips or you forget a step. So this is really a nice section right here. You're not going to use RPR for 2 weeks after this little demo, and you're going to forget how to do things. Totally understand. But just kind of remember, if you can type in an address up top to get to a specific address and see the details and run a report, or to do a prospecting or a property search, you can use this guided tour section and kind of walk you through it. Okay. All right. The last thing on the desktop version I want to show you while I'm here is just the settings for you. So if you see, I can click on my name up in the top right, or my initial, and I can go to profile or settings. So if you want to update your logo and photo, this is where you would do that at. So your initial up in the top right, and then you've got your profile. You can change your password here. You can add a website or an email address. And then you also have your settings, which give you some options for basically how properties show up in the map, right? Maybe you only want to see, when you do a map search, maybe you only want to see closed listings in the last 30 days, right? Whatever your slider is, or 6 months, whatever. And then you can save that. Okay. Okay. Before we switch over to the mobile version, are there any desktop version questions or anything you want to see or cover again, or just don't quite understand? Anybody got their hand raised or anything? No? Good. Okay.
All right. We're looking good in the chat.
Okay. Let me go ahead and connect my phone then. Give me 1 second. Okay. You guys can see my phone?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So RPR mobile, let's go to my app store. Now I'm on an iPhone. So for you Android users, I apologize, but I know it's very similar. So I'm going to go to my app store on the iPhone, and I'm going to search for RPR. And there it is, RPR mobile. It looks like this right here, right? It's got the same icon that the desktop version does. And then obviously mine is already downloaded, so I'm just going to open it, but yours will say get if you have not yet downloaded it. Same process. For those of you that have not yet created your RPR account, when you open that up, you can still do it from your phone. Now mine automatically signed me in. I'm going to sign out. And this is the exact same screen that was on your desktop version. So if you want to create your account or you forgot your password, those options are still here for you. Okay, if I go to my password, mine is saved already, so I'm going to type that in. And this is what the mobile version looks like, right? So just like we did in the desktop version, same thing. I can go ahead and type that address in there. And it's going to give me the exact same options that the desktop did. I get all of the property details, estimated values, same screen, same data, same everything. Okay. What I really like about this, the mobile version here, is I can quickly create a report at the bottom. So I can click create reports or reports, and I'm going to create a report down here. You see it. And the report I want to create is the seller's report, right? This is that CMA. And what I like about the mobile version is look how easy it is to check what I like and don't like. Remember, I told you I would show you this. I can, if there are pages in here that I don't want, I don't think are necessary, then I just take them out. Maybe I don't want any of those home facts in there, right? I uncheck it and then I click next to run my report and run. It's going to take 30 seconds. See how it says it's finalizing a report, and then that report will be in here. And what's really nice is on your phone with that report, I can click view in the middle, and then I can view this. I can share it. I can click the little button right here. Maybe I want to text this to somebody. I'll text it to myself. You can see what it looks like. Or I can click the little share button right here and share it like this. All right, as a text message or as an email if I wanted to. So you've got options. And that all took what, 30 seconds? Plug an address in, pull it up, run the report. Okay. You can see I've done some other reports. Like I've got my, if I wanted to do a neighborhood report, I can go back. Let's go back here. Let's plug in, we'll use the same address. That's fine. And now when I click to, whoops, didn't get the address in there. There we go. So now when I click reports at the bottom, see the bottom right, and I want to create a report. This time I want to do a neighborhood report at the bottom. Let's see what the neighborhood report looks like. What do I want it to include? Everything. It's going to show me the housing stats, the people stats, economic stats, the quality of life stats. My seller's report is ready. And so once I have that done, I'm going to click run report and then exit. And at some point, when that's done, it will be in my reports at the bottom here. Okay, it might just take a second, but we're going to see our neighborhood report pop up there. And we'll see what that looks like when it's done. Okay, so this is the mobile version. Now, anything you do on the app will talk to the desktop, and anything you do on the desktop will talk to the app. So for instance, when I click reports down here, all these reports that you see, these are the same ones that are in my desktop version. See, I ran this one on June 26th. This one was today, this morning. And if I were to go to the desktop version, I'm going to see the same ones there, right? So they talk to each other. It doesn't matter where you run it, you're going to have access to them both. If I were to go back to the desktop for 1 second, you can see under my work, my reports. Under my work, my reports, sorry. And in the middle here, see the neighborhood report that just popped up? That's the same one on my phone that I just created, right? So they talk to each other in real time. This is that neighborhood report I was telling you that finally downloaded. So this is what it looks like. I can view this, I can share it. I can text, I can email, just showing me all kinds of things. Population, income brackets, education level brackets, all kinds of stats and charts and graphs in here. Very cool stuff. Okay. How we doing? I went a little bit over, but how we feeling about RPR? Any questions? Anything anybody want me to cover again? I know I sometimes can slide through a little fast. Everyone's on different levels. I at least want to get it in your brain of like how to download it, how to create the account, how to type an address or a city or a zip and get that data out of there. Good. Okay. Any questions?
I guess I just want to add a question on when you were doing the prospecting and
Mm-hmm.
you basically were prospecting to renters per se, all in Willoughby. So like you can do the same thing like you're prospecting to, let's say, a few addresses in your neighborhood. Or I'm sorry, a few you just want to do cover a few streets in your neighborhood. You
Yeah.
could just
Yeah.
get a
You
list
can.
of all the homeowners.
That's right. So let's say, okay, so I'm on the research tab. I do my map search, right?
Hmm.
And now in my map search, let's say I want to just grab this Chestnut Hill Drive, right? All the properties there. I can just click the little drawing tool right here. I'll use a polygon one. That's fine. And then I'm going to just draw on Chestnut Hill, right? Wherever I want to prospect to, right? And now once I
Oh,
have my shape, I want to search that area and I want to do mailing labels for that street.
oh, I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So that all started with under research, map search. That's kind of like the basis. It wants to know where you're searching exactly, right? I can click the drawing tool.
Okay.
Maybe I want to do a radius around this whole South Turtle Trail or whatever this is. So I highlight it, I search the area, and it's going to generate those properties. And then I can do
Awesome.
my report. Yep. 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 Yep.
Okay, and then we do have a quick question in the chat. When doing a cam on the phone, how do
Oh, the
you see?
CMA on the
Oh, it's
phone.
CMA,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me pull my phone back up. Give me 1 second. Jumping back and forth here.
I need to get Reflector for.
Oh, I love it. It's the best. I wouldn't be able to do a lot of what I do without it, especially showing stuff on the phone. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go. Let's go back. So if you have your map up, I'm going to click remove boundary. So if you're staring at your map wherever you are, you should be able to just click draw right here on the phone, and then you're kind of again freehand or radius. You're drawing your shape that you want to search in. So I'm not sure if that's exactly what your question was, but the same as it on the desktop version. Okay, good. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. And remember, see up in the top right corner, you have the little filters. Remember, this is you're always combining the where with the what. So the map is the where. If I click my filters, now this is the what, right? So for your CMA question, maybe I want to change this to whatever exact features or exact statuses that I want to search for to run that searching, pull out that data. So it's a little combination of both always. Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other RPR things you want to see or talk about? Or in the last few minutes, I have you, if there's any other MLS things just in general, a rules question, whatever, I'm happy to answer it if anybody has anything they want to talk about. I want to keep pushing Kubicasa when I get in front of you guys. I cannot emphasize enough
Yeah.
how cool Kubicasa is. I don't know how many of you are using it. What do you think, Kelly? How many of your people are using it? Like 50%, 20? If you had to guess, do you know?
Mm, if I had to guess, I would say 20%.
Okay. You
So
definitely, you guys
feel
want to
free to
do.
push.
Okay, yeah. Kubicasa is such a cool app, and it's so important for your listings. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the data on floor plans, but listings that have floor plans on them sell quicker and get more engagement because consumers want to see three things. They want to see photos, they want to see the property details, and they want to see a floor plan. Okay. There are two MLSs actually in the country that are now requiring floor plans be entered with your listing as a photo. Okay. We're not there yet, but we have given you a tool to enter floor plans. It's called Kubicasa. It's free and it's very easy to use. And if you're not, you're missing out on a way to separate yourself from other agents when you enter listings. If you go to your app store, okay, and you just type in Kubicasa, This one right here. It looks like this, Kubi Casa. All right. Once you open it up, very similar to RPR in terms of creating an account, put in your email, it's going to email you a link, you click on it and you're active. Okay. But just to show you, if I wanted to get a floor plan, I don't know why I did that. If I wanted to get a floor plan, I just click on the scan button at the bottom. Whoops, lost my phone. Give me 1 second. It'll be worth it, I promise. So once you have that app downloaded and your account's created, let's go to Kubi Casa. Okay. Once you do that, all you have to do is click the scan button at the bottom. All right, that's it. You click scan, choose your property type. It's going to give you a few tips on like best practices, like turn on all the lights, open the windows, right? But then after you do that, you literally just you point, you walk around your property like this, right? You walk through the doors, you go upstairs, you just cover everything that's scannable. And then once you do that, you hit the send button and you send that to Kubi Casa. They email you back a floor plan that you upload as a JPEG image, and they email back to you within 24 hours. Could not be easier to use. It could take you 2 minutes, 3 minutes to walk through a 2,000 square foot home. You know, you can get the patio, you can get the basement, you can get the deck, whatever, and it's going to send you back a floor plan that you upload as a JPEG image to your listing.
Oh, cool. And now you just do this like in real time, you're walking through the property.
That's it.
And it
In
kind
real
of just
time.
guides you through the app on like if they need to see more walls or things like that.
Yeah, it'll say like you saw a little red message. It said because I'm sitting down. It said like too close.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to stand up, kind of point towards the wall, and walk through it. You really
Oh,
can't
okay.
mess it up. It's super simple. And then they kick
Okay.
back basically what this is what they look like when they come to you. They get
Oh,
emailed,
cool.
and then you
I
take
have.
this and you. Mhm.
Oh no, I was gonna say I have been seeing that a lot more in like the pictures when going through properties in the MLS. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This is a big one. I'm telling you, I consumers want to see floor plans, and agents usually don't upload them. I think the last time I checked, like 8% of listings have a floor plan in our system. So, you know, agents aren't giving consumers what they want, and this is a way for you to do that. Like, hey, you know, list with me. I'm going to get a floor plan. I get better engagement. It'll sell quicker. That's what the stats say, the data. So, something to think about, and it's free. You know, so that's also nice. But yeah, that's
Awesome.
it. That's all I got for you.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
If anybody ever needs anything, yep, you can give me a
Switch you in.
call. Yeah,
Is that
absolutely.
the good number for you?
Yeah, I think it's 216 actually, but that's
Oh, is it
okay.
216?
Yeah, yeah, no worries.
So sorry. I'm a
Oh, good.
440, so I probably just
Yeah. And if anybody that's on ever has a question, yeah, email me, call me. Happy to help. This is what we do. Don't hesitate. And yeah, good luck to you.
All right. Thank you so much again, Dan.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you. Have a good one.
Thanks. All right. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye bye.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.